Hey guys, I guess you noticed that you have a sub again today. I'm sorry I couldn't be there again today, guys. I'm sick. I've got COVID, so I can't really be there with you guys until I'm better. I don't want to make any of you guys sick. And as you can probably hear, I'm still pretty sick. I've still got a cough and everything, so I've got to stay home one more day. Hopefully I'll be back by tomorrow, okay? Okay. Well, we still need to get on with our learning because I know we have a whole week off next week. Yay. So let's see what we can get in this week before we get off for Thanksgiving, okay? There's a few things we really need to cover and get done before we get off for Thanksgiving. Alright, so first things first, our vocabulary words. We are going to have a test this week over the two chapters we went over last week. Remember chapter 1 and chapter 2 words, and then you're going to get chapter 3 words this week, okay? Alright, so we're going to go over those really quick and just make sure you remember chapter 1 and 2 words, and we're going to go over chapter 3 words really fast, okay? Alright, and then you guys can study. Alright, so vocabulary words. Alright, here they come. Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. I'm hoping I don't cough all through your video. Alright, so these were the chapter 1 words. Remember, conflict, turning point, burden, impose, tax, assembly, petition, opposition, mastermind, and militia. These words were on your homework calendar last week. I'm hoping you studied and you know these words already, but we're going to go over really fast. Let's go over the pictures really quick, and you can yell out what you think, which word matches the picture best, okay? Alright, so wait until I say go to yell out, okay? Alright, think about it. Go. Which one? Yes, assembly. Because remember, an assembly is like a big group of people that meet, and a lot of times they're making laws or something like that, okay? Alright, get ready. Go. Yeah, this one's probably tax, because remember, tax is extra money you pay when you buy something. And that's what the British government was doing to the colonists. They were giving them those taxes that nobody liked. What do you think on this one? Yeah, impose should have been the best one on this one, because remember, impose means like you're forcing or you're making them do something, and the British government was like forcing them or making them pay the taxes. And yeah, they didn't ask their opinion. They didn't ask what they wanted to do. They didn't have their say. Go. Definitely, this is a militia. Remember, a militia is like an army. They're just not like the official army. Good. What about those guys? Yeah, conflict. Remember, conflict's like a fight or an argument when people don't get along. Go. Yep, he's a mastermind. Remember, a mastermind is somebody that has like a really good idea or a plan. What do you think? Go. Yeah, that's a burden. Remember, a burden's like something that's really heavy or hard to do, or it's like a problem. And that would definitely, trying to carry that elephant across that tightrope would definitely be a burden to somebody, be a problem, be hard to do. Oh, I know Mr. or Miss Tristan's class knows what this is. Yep, it's a petition. Remember, a petition is like a piece of paper that you pass around and everybody signs if they agree with what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to get a law or like a rule to change, you could send around a petition, have everybody sign it, and maybe you could give it to whoever's in charge and they might change the law or the rule. Alright, what do you think? Okay. I think the best one for this one would be turning point. Because remember, a turning point is kind of when you're having a problem or things are going bad. And then you get like a solution or something goes right and you succeed. Remember, a turning point, yeah, is when things are kind of going bad, but something magically happens or something instantly happens and it makes things go better. Alright, and that was chapter 1 words. Remember, we also looked at chapter 2 words that we read last week. These were not on your homework calendar, but we still talked about them last week, and hopefully you remember what most of these mean. Alright, so what was liberty? Yeah, freedom, good. What about repeal and eliminate? Remember, they almost meant the same thing. When they got mad at the king about all those taxes, he finally did repeal it, or he eliminated the Stamp Act. Yeah, that means kind of get rid of, or it's gone. Sorry guys, excuse me again. Alright, how about indirectly? Remember indirectly, like, I spilled water on the floor, but I did it indirectly because I bumped into Gabe's desk and I knocked his water bottle off. You know, I didn't mean to make a mess, but I did it indirectly on accident, kind of, or I wasn't meaning to do it. Yeah, that's kind of what indirectly means. Something happens even though you weren't really meaning for it to happen. Alright, a boycott. If you remember, they decided they would boycott the tea when they did the Tea Act. Yeah, they weren't going to use it, sell it, anything, drink it anymore. They were saying no, they weren't going to do it. A musket was a what? Yep, that was a gun. Remember, an engraving was like a picture. And they did what to it? Did they paint it? No, good. They carved it. Yep, they carved it in something, like when Paul Revere made that engraving of the Boston Massacre. Alright, and if you remember, his engraving of the Boston Massacre was not accurate. It wasn't correct. Yes, it wasn't correct. Accurate means right or correct. And his wasn't. Alright, and then patriot. A patriot is somebody that, like, loves their country, or they want to defend their country. Like, we are all patriots. We love America. Alright, so let's go through these pictures really quick. Oh, that one should be easy. Go ahead. What is this? Definitely, it's a musket. Alright, what do you think these guys are doing? Yeah, it could be that they are boycotting something, because remember, this was about equal rights, and they were saying they weren't going to do it until they got equal rights, so maybe. What about that one? Oh, yeah, that's an engraving. Yeah, you could engrave on metal or wood, but it's when you carve like a picture or even some words, like a name on this one. Okay. Go ahead. Good, you remember that one. Accurate is correct. Good. Alright, what about this one? Yeah, which one meant freedom? Yep, liberty. Good job, good job. Alright, so how about that one? What are they trying to do to those germs? Yes, eliminate. Or even, some of people say repeal, but remember, repeal and eliminate kind of mean the same thing because you're getting rid of something. But repeal is only when you're like getting rid of like a law or a rule. Eliminate can be getting rid of anything else. But repeal is only when it's like a law or a rule. So this isn't a law or a rule, so I think eliminate would be the best one. Or even, go back on this one, they were probably trying to repeal, you know, the laws that kept white people and black people away and didn't let black people do the same equal things as white people. They were trying to repeal that. They were trying to get those laws to change. Alright, what about that one? Yes, he's a patriot. You can tell he's got the flag, he's got a sword, he's ready to defend America because he loves it. He's a patriot. Alright, they're trying to tell you not to use something. Yeah, boycott. They were boycotting these things, saying, let's not use it until they change something. And it looks like this kid's falling. I bet people didn't mean for him to fall. Yeah, indirectly. He fell and got hurt, but it was indirectly. Whoever spilled the water wasn't trying to make him fall. It was just indirectly he fell. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so chapter 3 words. These are the new ones you didn't see last week. Okay, so we have intolerable, grievance, import and export, which we've talked a little bit about in class, stockpile, a belfry, a rebel, volley, musket ball, and revolutionary. And you probably know about a musket ball because we know what a musket is. What do you think a musket ball is? Exactly. That's like the bullet that you put into a musket, and it looks like a little ball. It's not bullet shaped like our bullets. It just looked like a little ball. And remember, you had to put it down the barrel of the gun, and you had to put the gunpowder in there and beat it all down with a stick. Yeah. That's a musket ball. All right. So, stockpile should be kind of an easy one. Do you remember when we had the word hoarder? You know, somebody that hoards stuff, they collect it for later. That's what stockpile is too. So a stockpile and a hoarder is kind of the same thing. They collect a bunch of stuff and they try to save it for later. Import and export, that remembers when if you're importing, you are getting stuff from another country. Like if, Japan makes a bunch of cars, they could import them to us, send them to us. But export is when we send stuff to other places. Like if we make corn or wheat or something, we could export it to Japan and give it to them. Because remember, port meant to carry. So it just means you're sending or carrying stuff. This one is when other countries send it to us. And this is when we send it to them. So import and export. Alright, a belfry is a part of a church where the bell's at. Kind of like a steeple. Do you remember we talked about steeples? Yes. Or we didn't call it a steeple, but it was what did they call that big tower part? Oh, I bet you all are yelling it. Yes, okay. Oh, goodness, I can't think of what it's called, but you all know what it is. You remember when we talked about it. But the part where the bell's at of the church, that's called the belfry, like the big tower. All right, so, intolerable. In the chapter we're going to read today, some things that the British government does, they call intolerable. What do you think intolerable is? Yeah, kind of bad. It means like it's so horrible that you can't even stand it. That's kind of what intolerable is. So we know those aren't going to be good, what the British government does. Volley. Volley is like when a bunch of weapons all fire at the same time. So like if it's one cannon, would that be a volley? No. But if it's 20 cannons all firing at the same time, would that be a volley? Yes. So a volley is like when a bunch of different weapons all fire at the exact same time and shoot at something. Alright, so that leaves us with a rebel. A rebel is somebody that's like going against the government. Going against like the king or the queen or the leader. You would be the rebel. A grievance. A grievance is like a complaint that you have because somebody's been unfair to you. For example, if nobody is letting you play basketball with them on the playground, you can have a grievance. They won't let you play, that's being unfair. You have a complaint. That's a grievance. Alright, and then that leaves our last one, revolutionary. And revolutionary just means that you are upset about the leaders of the country and you want to make a change. Just like I bet the people in the colonies were upset at the king, weren't they? Yeah, because he was making all those taxes and laws and they didn't like it. So they might want to make a change soon. Alright, we're going to do a couple of these pictures. What do you think this one could be? Yeah, which one was a hoarder? Yeah, stockpile. This is kind of the same thing as hoarding when you stockpile a bunch of stuff. Alright, what about this one? Yeah, those are musket balls, see? And somebody was saying how they were tiny, but you can see this in somebody's hand, and they're not tiny. I mean, they're not huge. But musket balls are pretty good sized. Oh, what was that things like when you're complaining because somebody's unfair? You remember? Yeah, it's a grievance. A grievance is when you have a complaint when something's not fair. We'll try one more. Oh, it was the tower that had the bell at a church. Yeah, a belfry. It might help you remember that, it has a bell and it's called a belfry. That might help. Alright, so study these words. You got a test on Friday, so make sure you're studying. Miss Tristan should give you your homework calendar today. Neither one of us were there yesterday to give it to you, but you should have it today. Sorry again.